Ding dong YouTube, welcome back to the channel. I'm the Jobless Coder, and it is the 32nd day update here. It is the 3rd of August, and that means that it is now exactly 1 month, based on the day, since the fire that destroyed my home a month ago in Lake Louise. And at this time, a month ago, I was sitting in my room at the Fairmont Chateau Lake Louise, uh, bawling my eyes out on the telephone with my parents because it felt like the end of the world. Because it has happened to me so many times that terrible shit happens. I never anticipated this level of terrible shit to happen, although none of us did. Um, and so much has happened since then. Now I've been fired and relocated. I've got a new job, and now I'm living in Sunshine Village, and so working for the Trappers bar here and pub. And it just feels like a completely different life at this point to the life that I had for the few weeks that I was in Lake Louise, which was completely different from the life that I had just a few weeks prior to that, living on my mother's couch. So it feels crazy that so much has happened in just such a short period of time in 1 month, to go from living one version of a life to an entirely different version of a life. I'm slowly starting to rebuild and get all of the things back that I lost. One of the things that I lost that was very special to me was taped on my wall, and it was visible behind me next to the personal trainer certificate in the video that I did a month ago where I talked about failure and about getting this job and moving out to Lake Louise. And that was the laminated funeral card for a man named Harley Dickinson. He was my grade 1 teacher, and he was a mentor to me and a very good friend of our families, and he committed suicide last year after a false accusation of touching a child that drove him to suicide because he lost his job, which was the only thing that he lived for, was teaching. And he had a 40-year spotless record with teaching, and so a flawless, I should say, record of teaching. And I had that funeral card laminated and taped up on my wall, and I wasn't sure if I would be able to get another one. And if I did get the original back, I wasn't sure what condition it would be in. I've gotten my personal trainer certificates back, and based on the damage that they have received, I can only assume that this funeral card is completely destroyed and would probably be garbage if I did get it back. So my mom got in contact with the family, and it sounds like they have a few extra cards sitting around, and she's going tomorrow to pick that up. And then we're going to get it relaminated, and at some point I'll meet up with my parents again so that I can get that funeral card, because it was bad enough losing him, and then to lose the funeral card that I had laminated in the fire. Just, that was one of the things that hurt a lot, probably the most. But it sounds like I'm gonna get that replaced, so that's good news. In terms of other things happening tomorrow, on the 4th of August, which is Friday, it sounds like they are going to be doing a charity baseball tournament at the Sports Rec Center in Lake Louise, because there's several other businesses and other people that work for those businesses within Lake Louise that were not affected by the fire, but they are doing this charity as a fundraiser for us. And so all proceeds are going to be donated to the Banff and Canmore Community Foundation, and it sounds like, depending on how well that goes and how much money they've raised since the second round of payouts, we could be looking at another third round of payouts here shortly for another couple $100. And so with that money, I'm slowly rebuying the things that I lost, mostly clothing at this point, because I'm going to need a significant amount of money more to replace the electronics, like my laptop. That's going to cost probably $2,000 to get replaced. Whereas, a handful of gym clothing and some socks and whatever that I had, I can purchase that for, $50 or $60 and then $20 shipping and get that sent here. So I've got a few things. My Spider Man suit is replaced. I spent 3 hours the other day looking at socks. Trying to replace them. I had a bunch of really cool socks. One of them I got in Vegas. It was a pair of socks with aliens on surfboards, and I thought that was so cool and so my style. So I have found them again, and I've ordered them, and that's coming in the mail. I had a Mewtwo Kigu Mari. If you don't know what that is, it's like a full body suit. It's like a fleece type material, really nice. I slept in it because I didn't have blankets or anything on my bed, but I would sleep in that because it was really warm. And so I've ordered that on Amazon, and that'll be coming in a few weeks or maybe a week time because it's Amazon and they ship fast. So yeah, most of everything I'm replacing is clothing. Um, I've tried reaching out to the band USS, the Ubiquitous Synergy Seekers. They're my favorite band here in Canada. They're from Toronto because I went to their final Frequency tour, and that is their final tour before they stop touring. So it's not like I can just go to another concert and buy more merchandise in the future. It's like, no, they are done touring, and the merchandise that I had bought is now gone. I'm trying to get a hold of them to see if they have maybe some extras left, but I did find that they have a vinyl store on their website still that does seem to have vinyl records. And I remember I had bought one that was like autographed on the little booklet, the little cover thing that it comes in. So if I can replace at least that, then that'll be good news. It seems that in most circumstances, everything is half or 2/3 that replaceable. There were 3 items that I got in November when I went to the championship NASCAR race for Kyle Busch, and my parents have found 2 of those 3 items on eBay, and they now have them. They've bought them and they've shipped them and they've received them. So the third item, I don't know if I'll ever get it back, but for everything it seems 2 out of 3. If I can get the record replaced from this band, but the bandana that had their logo and stuff on it, I may never be able to get that replaced because their merchandise store on their website shows nothing. There's no products available. Um, Everything is just doing a lot of research, a lot of looking, Google searching on eBay, to find all of the things that I had lost. And then, of course, we're still waiting on insurance payouts, but that's probably going to be months and months and months into the future before anything would come from that. I'm going to try to get up to Lake Louise at least once before the 9th, because on the 9th they're moving out all of the clothing donations that they've received. And I just want to have one final look through to see if there's anything that catches my eye. So I'm going to see if I can get some time off to go and do that. The news from today regarding everyone is that there is a meeting tomorrow happening at Lake Louise for all of the internationals, and it has to do with their visas. And so it doesn't pertain to me, and I'm not exactly sure if it pertains to the individuals who were fired, because I frankly have no idea how the visas work. If a visa to come to Canada is specifically tied to the company. In which case, if you are fired from the company, you don't need the visa replaced anymore because it doesn't mean anything anyways. But I am told that everyone that is at this meeting is going to be receiving checks to cover the cost of this. And I'm not exactly sure the extent of what this meeting entails, whether there'll be government officials present to assist with the reapplication for the visa process. I do hope that they would extend the offer for the checks for the visa to those people who were fired and now relocated elsewhere, wherever they ended up going after they were told that they had to be out in 5 days. For me, it doesn't matter because I have another job and I'm also a Canadian citizen. But for everyone else that lost their visa in the fire, and if the visa is multifaceted in that you can apply to any company with it. It's not necessarily tied to Ski Louise. I would certainly hope that those people that have been fired and left would have that opportunity extended to them for the assistance in replacing their visas as well. It's going to be obviously more challenging and difficult with them not physically present anymore in the Bow Valley. For the most of them, they've gone elsewhere, friends or family, other provinces within Canada where they are currently staying now. So that is the news for today and for the plans of tomorrow, what's going to happen. For me, I'm just working a regular shift, 1 o'clock to 9:30, every single day now. So that is the extent of my life. But I'm presenting the information that pertains to anyone else and whatever they're dealing with up in Lake Louise still. It'll be interesting to see how many people show up to this softball tournament and how much money they can raise from that. I know that they raised, I think, $4,000 or $5,000 in a single night at one of the bars in Lake Louise. So everyone seems very generous, and hopefully we'll see a third round of payouts for that as well. And then just slowly over time replacing all of the clothing and that I had lost. So yeah, I guess that's about all I have for this video today to share. I want to thank everyone that continues to tune in to these daily updates and follows the story here. And make sure to share the video with your friends and family, wherever they're watching from. And until then, I'll see you in tomorrow's update. Adios.